Okay, here's a quick rundown on what I've had to do on this tamale machine. I don't have any help that I've been trying to get to shoot a good video, so please bear with me. And especially Big Oso, you've been extremely patient waiting on me to do this for you. But we'll give you a quick rundown here, and I'm going to have to tilt the phone a couple times. I apologize. Best I can do with what I got. So anyway, I started off with two horizontal sausage stuffers that I purchased. I thought I wanted to build this thing laying down, and that was a terrible idea. After I realized I messed up, I had to go vertical with this thing. So then I had to build these stainless 90 units here to adapt from the tube to the manifold, which was very time consuming. Everything on this project was time consuming. And ended up had a 1-inch piece of aluminum for a base. Ended up using 1-inch round stock for the uprights on the frame. And then that is a 12-volt motor and gearbox that I actually had 50 units built, probably about in 2000, for some hog rotisseries I was building. And I've got a few of these left that I'm probably not going to get rid of. I got to keep because I'm still using a few of them. And so this here in the center is actually one of the rack drives from the original sausage stuffers, and these are guide rods. And I'll get around to the back side here. You can see I've got the motor. That's a 295 to 1 gear ratio on that motor and gearbox. And then of course I had to put a jack shaft in it and build that. And this is a coupling here to go from drive to hand crank for reversing it, because it reverses way too slow. And I put a variable speed on it, and that's a stop switch. When it goes all the way down and bottoms out, it stops the motor. And anyway, lots of thinking and drinking and machining and all that good stuff. It took me about 3 years on and off to build this darn thing. And these standoffs you see here on the bottom, 3 here and 3 here. Let me get back around. This is where they mount at. And they actually sit up here, bolt in place, both of them. And then I had to build this manifold, just a big chunk of 3x3 aluminum square stock, and lots of machining at first. When I built this, I did blind holes everywhere. When this bolts up here for these 90s, I did a blind hole into this direction and stopped. Same thing here, and same thing on the outlet. I bored all the way up in here and stopped. I thought that was the right thing to do. That was a terrible idea because it's almost impossible to clean it. So then I went ahead and drilled all the way through, which I should have done immediately. And then I've got plugs that I built to go in there and to plug it up when you're operating, and then pull those out to clean it. Helps a whole lot. These are silicone O-rings that seal in between here and here, coming off the 90. And so that would tilt up like that. And then all stainless bolts here that attach the manifold into the 90s. This here is the outlet tube, so your meat comes in here like this, and then it's forced to go this direction, and then your masa comes in here and goes around it with this. So this would actually sit in like this. Your meat's going to come in through this piece, which is not in all the way, and so your meat comes down the center, and then the masa flows around the meat tube, but it all comes out just like a standard tamale. Your meat's in the middle, massa's on the outside. This just clamps it down and also bolts to the manifold. And then had to do a little bit of work on the tubes just to keep them stable so it didn't get off and get in the bind. And I built a plunger for putting the meat and the masa down in the tube so you don't have to stick your arm in there doing that. And then still use the standard pistons and seals that came with the sausage stuffer. And that's the quick rundown. And Big O, so if you got more questions, please get a hold of me. But that's the best I can do for you for now until I get some help and do a real video, and that'll probably be, several months away when we start making tamales in. But thank you very much.